Welcome to another BVLSI online lecture series. Today's topic will be transistor level implementation of 1-bit full ladder circuit using transmission gates. So let us begin with the topic. So we have earlier seen bit adder circuits. Today we will discuss 1-bit full ladder implementation using transmission gate. So let us first look at the functional table of a full ladder circuit. We all know this functional table of a full ladder circuit having external inputs A and B, and Cin is my input carry, whereas sum and Cout, that is output carry, are my two outputs of a full ladder circuit. So since there are three inputs, there will be around 2 raised to 3, that is 8 combinations of input possible, right from 000 to 111. So we have discussed this table many times. Today we will explore it in a different way. So we have seen this combination. Let us consider the first and the last combination, that is A is 0, B is 0 and Cin is 0. So in this case, my sum is 0 and my Cout is also 0. Now let us check the second last case. Here in this case, my A is 1, B is 1, Cin is 0. In that case, my sum is 0 and my carry is 1. So this way you can explore the other cases. Now let us closely look into the sum. Now if you look here in the sum for the first two combinations, that is A is 0 and B is 0, again A is 0 and B is 0, Cin is changing from 0 to 1. So basically whenever A and B both are 0, my sum is following the Cin. So as you can see, if Cin is 0, sum is also 0, and if Cin is 1, my sum is also 1. So we can say whenever A and B are both 0, and Cin is going from 0, 1, sum is following Cin. So basically we can write over here sum is equal to Cin, whereas the Cout is 0. So basically Cout is following A. A is also 0. So Cout is following A. Basically it can follow B also, but in this case we are only setting it to A. So Cout is 0. It is nothing but A, as you can see. We can also write B over here, doesn't matter. Now whenever A and B is 0, we know A XOR B is 0 when both the inputs are same. So here we can write that way similarly. Whenever both the inputs are same, that is A and B are same, over here, my A XOR B is 0. So now let us check to the second, let us go to the second condition, that is A is 0, B is 1. So in these two cases, my B is 1 and A is 0. Again my Cin is changing from 0 to 1. Now let us see what happens to the sum. Now sum is changing opposite to that of Cin. So if Cin is going from 0 to 1, my sum is going from 1 to 0. And Cout is actually following Cin. So if Cin is going from 0 to 1, Cout is also going from 0 to 1. So basically the new expression of sum is whenever A is 0, B is 1, sum is actually Cin bar, and my Cout is actually Cin. And A is 0, B is 1 means A and B are indifferent. So basically A XOR B will be 1. Now let us check this next condition. A is 1 and B is 0. In these two both conditions, Cin is going from 0 to 1 and sum is going from 1 to 0. So basically sum is going opposite to what Cin is changing from, and C out is changing same as Cin. So what we can write over here, sum is equal to C in bar, C out is equal to C in, and A XOR B is equal to 1. Why A XOR B is 1? Because A is 1, B is 0. That's why A XOR B will be 1. Let us check the last condition over here. So when A and B both are 1, and if Cin goes from 0 to 1, what happens to sum? The sum also goes from 0 to 1, whereas C out remains at 1 and 1. So basically what we can write over here, sum is actually C in, changing same as C in, C out is changing same as A or B, and what is my A XOR B? A XOR B is 0, because if A and B both are same, A XOR B will be 0. So this is how you derive this functional table for implementation using transmission gates. Now looking at this functional table over here, consisting of new expression of sum, Cout and A XOR B, we will utilize this to write the new expression of sum and carry out, that is Cout. So let me just open up two screens. Let me just push this over here. Yeah, all right. Let me just take it over here and expand it a little so that we can see this table all the time. And on this side, I can show you the expressions. How are they implemented? Yeah. So it is very much clear from here. To your left hand side of your screen, you see the equations, and to your right hand side of the screen, you see how to implement them. So my sum expression contains, we will check it for all the conditions. It contains, that is, sum is equal to Cin into A X nor B. So basically A XOR B the whole bar. So what it means is, whenever sum is seen, A X or B is 0. So basically you can put a bar over it. So it becomes sum is equal to seen times A XOR B the whole bar, plus, here we can see sum is seen bar and A XOR B is 1. So we can write over here sum is equal to Cin into A XOR B the whole bar plus Cin bar into A XOR B. Understood? So let us call A XOR B as P, another term. So how this expression of sum will become? So sum is equal to Cin into P bar plus Cin bar into P, which is nothing but sum is equal to Cin XOR P. So this is my first expression of sum. Now let us go ahead and check carry. So now we have considered P is equal to A XOR B. Now let us concentrate on the C out. So C out, we have A when A plus A XOR B is 0, and C out is Cin when A XOR B is 1. So how do we write this? We write it as Cout is equal to A dot P bar plus Cin dot P. Basically, P is A XOR B. I repeat, Cout expression is A XOR A dot P bar plus Cin dot P. Understood? So this is the expression number 2 for Cout, that is carry out. Now using this expression number 1 and 2, we have to implement 1 bit full adder using transmission gates. Now let us move on to the circuit diagram. So before going to full adder, 1 bit full adder implementation, so let us analyze the following transmission gates. I hope you all can see it in the screen. Yes. So this is XOR implementation in transmission gates, using transmission gates. So basically what is XOR? XOR is this A XOR B. So whenever both the inputs are same, my XOR output will be 0. And whenever there is either one of the changes in either A or B, they are indifferent, that is 0 or 1, then my output will be 1. So let us check whether this circuit over here works as a XOR gate or no using transmission gates. And we have considered this P as A XOR B. So this is the output over here. So this circuit contains one transmission gate TG, one PMOS transistor, that is M1, and one NMOS transistor, that is M2. So let us see the first case over here. So I will minimize the screen and adjust this to so that we can check the working simultaneously. So on the right hand side of your screen you have your circuit, and to the left hand side you have the cases written in expressions form. Okay, so let us check the first case. A is 0, B is 0, that means A bar is 1. So basically what will happen? If A is 0, A bar is 1, this transmission gate over here is on, while the transistors M1 and M2 are off. Why they are off? Because A is 0 and A bar is 1. So basically M1 and M2 transistors are off, and also my B is 0. So whenever this transmission gate is on, whatever is at the input of the transmission gate, that is B, it will pass to its output. The output of this transmission gate is P. So basically, whenever this transmission gate is on, it passes B to the output node P. And what is B status now? B status is 0. So hence the output node P is 0. So when A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0. Whenever A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0. What is my status of P? P is 0. So yes, first case is verified. Now let us go and check the second case. Second case is A is 0, B is 1, and A bar is also 1. So in this case also, when A is 0, B is 1 and A bar is 1, this transmission gate is on. Whereas the transistors M1 and M2 are off, are still off. So whenever this transmission gate is on, it will pass whatever is present at the input, that is B, to the output node, that is P. So what was the status of B? B was 1. So this transmission gate will pass 1 at the output node P. So let us check the truth table. When A is 0 and B is 1, that time my P is 1. Yes. So second case is also verified. Let us go and check the third case. So the third case says A is 1, B is 0, so A bar will be 0. So basically when A is 1, A bar is 0, that makes this transmission gate go off. Now let us check what happens to M1 and M2. So M1 source terminal is connected to logic 1 since A is 1, and M2 source terminal is connected to ground because A bar is 0, and you are applying B as 0. So basically it is M1 and M2 together is working as a CMOS inverter, and you are applying 0 to it. So basically my M1 transistor here, actually we can say here there is a mistake over here. M1 and M2 both are not on. Basically CMOS inverter is on. So whenever B is 0, only M1 is on. So kindly correct this. Both M1 and M2 both are not on. Only M1 is on since we have applied input as B as 0. So whenever you apply B as 0, M1 is on, and at the output you will get P as 1. Because you are applied B here, output will be B bar since it's a CMOS inverter. So kindly correct this. Here only M1 is on, and if M1 is on, my P output node, output of the CMOS inverter will be 1. So let us check that condition over here. Yes, if A is 1, B is 0, my P is also 1. Now let us go ahead and check the last condition. So what the last condition says, A is 1, A bar is 0, and B is 1. So whenever A is 1 and A bar is 0, this transmission gate is off. So basically off means it is in the high impedance state. So it cannot pass whatever is there at its input. Now let us check the status of M1 and M2. M1 source is connected to 1, logic 1, and M2 source is connected to logic 0. So M1 and M2 combination works as a CMOS inverter. But here again the statement is wrong over here. M1 and M2 are not on simultaneously. So let us see which of the transistors is on. So if B is 1, my M1 is off and my M2 is off. M2 is on because M2 is my NMOS transistor, and NMOS transistor is on when a logic 1 is applied to its input. So whenever B is 1, M1 is off and M2 is on. So kindly correct it over here, because M1 and M2 works as a CMOS inverter. Output of the CMOS inverter will store B bar, and B was 1, so P will be 0. So let us check the condition over here. So if A is 1, B is 1, that means P is 0. So indeed, this circuit over here is indeed working as an XOR gate using transmission gate logic. So we will utilize this circuit. Now let us quickly check the LT-SPICE simulation of the same. So let me open up LT-SPICE. Let me open the folder. Here is the folder. And let me open up XOR gate using transmission gate. So this is the circuit which you see over here. This is same. Here you have A. Here you have A bar. Here both the extreme left and right you have B inputs. Here also you have B inputs. And here is my transmission gate over here. And this is my M1 and M2 as per the diagram. We require A and A bar. So we have connected a CMOS, another CMOS inverter. So this circuit will implement a XOR gate. So let us go ahead and check the functionality of the circuit with the help of waveforms. So let me just simulate this. I may require three plots, one for A, one for B, and one for output P. So let me just first plot A. Next I will plot B, and then next I will plot P. That is the output. P is actually A XOR B. So let us check the conditions one by one. So here let us check the first condition over here. A is 0, B is 0. So when A and B both are 0, output is 0. Yes. Next condition is A is 0, B is 1. So my output P is 1. So whenever A and B are either 0 or 1, my output is 1. That is the functionality of a XOR gate. Next we'll check A is 1 and B is also 1, and output P is 0 over here. So true for XOR gate, it happens. Next condition is A is 1, B is 0, and P output is 1. Next condition we will check A is 1, B is 1, and output P is 0. Yes, a classic XOR function. Let us check one more condition. A is 0, B is 1, so output P is also 1. So indeed, the circuit over here behaves as a XOR gate. Now let us do one more thing. What we will do is, we will try to interchange A and A bar. So here we have A. Let me make it A bar. So this becomes your A bar. And in place of A bar, I'll write A. So this becomes A. Let me just change this also to A. So what we have done is, we have interchanged the positions of A and A bar. So what we are trying to implement is, if we interchange the positions of A and A bar, the circuit will behave as a XNOR gate. So what is a XNOR gate? I'll bring your attention back to the PDF. So what are we trying to do is, let me just scroll it down. So if A and A bar are interchanged in the above circuit, then the circuit functions as a XNOR gate. So what is a XNOR gate? XNOR gate, whenever both the inputs are same, only then my output is 1. Else if both the inputs are different, then the output is 0. So let us check whether this same circuit, after interchanging A and A bar, works as a XNOR gate or no. So let us again run the simulations, and now let us check the output. So here A is 0, B is 0, so inputs are same, so output is 1. Yes. Next condition is A is 0, B is 1, the output is 0. Yes. A typical XNOR function. Next condition is A is 1, B is 1, the output is 1. So whenever both the inputs A and B are 1, the output is also 1. This is a function of a XNOR gate. Let us check one more condition. A is 1, B is 0, and P is 0. So yes, if either of the inputs A and B are 0, output is 0. So indeed, after interchanging A and A bar to the original circuit, this circuit over here works as a XNOR gate. So we will shortly use this concept. We will shortly use this concept in this PDF which we have shown over here. So we have verified this circuit as a XNOR gate. Now what we will do is we are ready to implement a 1-bit full adder circuit. So let us again revise our equations. So equation of sum is P XOR Cin, and equation of carry is P P bar dot A plus Cin into P. So that is the expression of carry out bit, that is C out over here. So next is we need to implement 1-bit full adder using above sum and carry expressions, and this has to be carried out using transmission gate terminology. So let us directly look into the circuit implementation. I hope this fits into the screen. Yes, I hope it does. So the upper part of this circuit over here, you can see this. Let us concentrate on the circuit to the left hand side. Let me just a little bit maximize this. Yeah. So this circuit over here, as you can see, consisting of one transmission gate and two transistors over here, is nothing but your XOR implementation using transmission gate. We have seen earlier, we have input as B, A bar, and here also B. Output is P, and here this is A. So this is nothing but implementing XOR. And the circuit below with interchange A bar and A will implement XNOR gate. So basically this output will be P bar. Just now we have implemented this. So the logic block, the transistors level implementation, this, the circuit to your left hand side, is nothing but generating XOR and XNOR functionalities. That is, it is generating P and P bar. Now we have seen the carry expression, some expression as P XOR Cin. So let me just open up another PDF and show you exactly what I'm trying to say over here. Yeah. So these are my expressions for, let me just keep it over here and let me highlight only the expression part. Yeah, now it is clear, and let me just expand this a little so that it fits the screen. Yeah, so now we will try to understand what we are trying to do. So the first part over here, I hope the circuit to the left is clear to you all. So what are we doing over here is, we will explain you how the sum is generated over here at the output. So basically some expression is P XOR Cin. So we have generated P from the circuit over here. We have to adjust Cin to it. So let us look into it. My expression of sum is P XOR Cin. So basically what does P XOR Cin means? P XOR Cin means it will be Cin into P bar plus Cin bar into P. So to implement that, we have used over here two transmission gates. So one transmission gate, the inputs are P and P bar, and other transmission gate, the inputs are P bar and P, as you can see over here. The inputs were applied to its gate terminal over here. and the two inputs applied to the transmission gates are Cin and Cin bar, and these two transmission gate are joined together at the output to produce sum. So the upper transmission gate will pass Cin into P bar, and the lower transmission gate will pass Cin bar into P. So if we add them together, we will get sum is equal to Cin into P bar plus Cin bar into P, which is nothing but P XOR Cin. So that's how you generate a sum. Now let us go ahead and check the carry circuit. So for carry, we want C out is equal to A into P bar plus C in into P. So I may require at the output as follows. I require A dot P bar plus C in into P. So again I require two transmission gates. For the first transmission gate, the input is A, and for the second transmission gate, the input is C in. So over here, this transmission gate produces the output as A dot P bar, and the lower transmission gate produces the output as C in dot P. And since the output of these transmission gate are added together to make C out, so the C out expression is A dot P bar plus C in dot P. So indeed, the lower combination of the transmission gates produces the carry out expression of A dot P bar plus C in dot P. So the circuit over here which you see is nothing but your 1-bit full adder bit using transmission gates. And let us now check the transistor count over here. So here we have around 5 transmission gates, so total 10 transistors. You can see 4 transistors over here. So 10 you have actually no you have 6 transmission gates, so 12 transistors, and additionally you can see 4 transistors over here. So you have around the total count is 16, and you require to implement A and A bar and C in and C bar. So you require 4 additional transistors to implement CMOS inverter. So the total transistor count is 16 plus 4, 20. So the transistor count is 20 over here. So remember, this is the lowest transistor count which we have encountered for implementation of 1-bit full adder circuit. You can compare it with the earlier techniques using complementary pass transistor, using mirror logic, using full adder implementation, full adder expressions of sum and carry. You can compare it with them. This is the least transistor count which we have encountered to make a 1-bit full adder. So now next we will see the LT spice simulation of the same, so that we can verify whatever we have said over here. So let me open up LT spice. So this is full ladder transmission gate implementation of the circuit. So as you can see, it's a complex looking transistor level implementation. Let me just expand it for y'all. I hope y'all can see it now. So this upper section, left hand side, you can see this section is implementing XOR functionality in the form of output P, and lower half of the same is implementing P bar, that is XNOR implementation. Now let us check the sum implementation of the same. So this is nothing but the two transmission gates added together to make sum, where inputs are P, P bar, Cin, and Cin bar. So this is exactly similar to whatever we have done just now. And the lower two transmission gates will be the circuit for C out. So lower two transmission gate input is A and Cin, and the output is C out. So basically, indeed, the circuit which you can see it in your screens is a 1-bit full adder with a total transistor count of 20. Now let us go ahead and check the functionality of the circuit by simulating it. So here we require around 4 planes to plot A, B, Cin, sum, and carry. So actually we require 5 planes. So first we will plot A. So we will plot A. So this is my A. Next we will plot B. So this is B. Next we will plot Cin. Cin is my initial carry to the circuit. So this is my Cin over here. Next we will plot sum. This is my sum over here. Yes, so this is sum which is generated out of the circuit. And lastly we will plot C out. So this is the last one is C out over here. Now let me just change the color of sum so that it is more clear to you. And also let me just change the color of C out again for more clarity. Okay, so now we are ready to check the functionality of this circuit. So let us check the first condition over here. So the first condition says A is 0, B is 0, Cin is 0. So when A, B, Cin all are 0, the sum is 0 over here and the carry is also 0. Yes, it is true. Next condition we check, A is 0, B is 1, Cin is 0. So in this case, the sum is 1, logic 1, and the carry is 0. So yes, this is also true. Next case we will check, A is 1, B is 1, Cin is 0. So in this case, A and B is 1. So the sum will be 0 and the carry generated will be 1. Yes, this is also correct. Next condition is A is 1, B is 0, Cin is 0. So in this case, the sum is generated as 1 and the carry is 0. Next condition is A is 1, B is 1 and Cin is 0. So in this case, the sum generated is 0 and the carry which is generated is logic 1. Next condition is A is 0, B is 1, Cin is 0. In that case, the sum generated is logic 1 and the carry generated is logic 0. Let us check one or two more combinations. Here A is 0, B is 0, Cin is 0. In that case, the sum is 0 and the carry is also 0. Let us go ahead and check the next condition. A is 0, B is 0, Cin is 1. So in this case, the sum is 1 and the carry is 0. Let us check another combination. A is 1, B is 0, Cin is 1. So in such a condition, the sum is 0 and the carry C out is 1. So this is also correct. Let us check the last combination. Here in this case, A is 1, B is 1, C is also 1. In this case, the sum is logic 1 and the carry is also logic 1. So indeed, this last condition is also correct. So the circuit over here, transistor level circuit, is indeed working as a 1-bit full ladder circuit. Now let us go back to PDF. So indeed, the circuit over here works perfectly well as a full 1-bit full ladder circuit using transmission gate terminology. Now we will give you the reference. The reference for this topic is taken from Introduction to VLSI Circuits and Systems, written by John P. Vivmera. So that's it for today. We will keep another session for full adder implementation using another logic. So till then, have a good day. Thank you.